On this episode of Sloan's Wilderness Expeditions, we make our first stop ever in the Ring of Fire at Lassen Volcanic National Park, exploring a fantastic lava flow and climbing to the top of a cinder cone. Hey fellow expeditionists, we're at Lassen Volcanic National Park.
We're gonna climb on top of Cinder Cone.
Along the way, we may see some fantastic lava beds, maybe even some painted dunes. Lassen Volcanic National Park is located in Northern California and is at the southern edge of the Cascade Mountain Range. This is part of the Pacific Rim's Ring of Fire, a 25,000-mile long string of volcanoes along the tectonic plates around the Pacific Ocean. The Cascade Volcanic Arc runs approximately 700 miles from Northern California up into British Columbia and features 20 major volcanoes and nearly 4,000 volcanic vents. Our hike starts from the Cinder Cone Trailhead by Butte Lake. This section of trail has a lot of historical value, not just in its volcanic history, but because it was once part of the Nobles Emigrant Trail. This trail linked the Applegate Trail in Nevada to the northern Sacramento Valley. During the 1850s, thousands of immigrants used this trail as part of their migration from the eastern United States. So this here in front of us is the outer edge of the fantastic lava beds. That is just one giant flow. So you can see all the blackened tree trunks, evidence of the forest fires that have gone through here. The last one to have hit the park was just 3 years ago. I believe it was the Dixie wildfire. A lot of this trail we're walking on is cinder cone ash. So the lava flows here are not quite what I expected. I had pictured like a smooth flowing rock that just kind of abruptly ends, kind of like what you would see from the lava flows in Hawaii. But that's because this was a different kind of lava. So the kind I was thinking of, the basalt, is called pahoho, with the smooth glassy surface, whereas this is the basalt, which is the chunky, giant rock type, very slow moving lava that then formed all of these huge boulders. Another thing about this type of basalt is it is very, very jagged and sharp. As much as I would love to climb up on top of this and get a view over the beds, I would probably get tore up from all the rocks and all the edges on those things. It's like darn near like glass. I can just tell by taking pictures that pictures and video will not do this thing justice. Yeah, here we go. And this silt, this ash, cinder ash we're walking on, it is like walking on sand. So it's already kind of a difficult hike in that respect, but up we go. A cinder cone volcano forms from a volcanic vent when pyroclastic fragments erupt from the vent and build up over time. Typically, a river of lava will flow from a low point in the cone, which is how the fantastic lava beds formed here from this Lassen cinder cone. The flows were so great that it dammed up local creeks, which is what formed both Butte Lake and Snag Lake here at the park. All right, destination Cinder Cone. The Cinder Cone is 748 feet tall for an elevation of 6,896 feet above sea level. The cone is believed to have formed during two eruptions that occurred about 375 years ago. While the trail up the cone certainly looks steep, it is made even harder to climb due to the loose cinders that the cone is made of. Whew. Well, if that climb doesn't give me a heart attack, nothing will. It's probably one of the top 3 most difficult climbs I've done, just because of the loose rock. It's pretty steep too. There you go. We're at the peak of the cone. So out that way, you have those fantastic lava fields. Look at how huge that is.
Yeah.
And you got Butte Lake out there. So that's where we started, on the other side of the lake. Meanwhile, let's look inward. Here you have the Caldera of the Cinder Cone. Pretty wild. And of course over there, that white peak over there is Lassen Peak, the tallest in the park. What do you think? Should we hike to the bottom of the Caldera?
Maybe.
Maybe. Might be where Bigfoot lives. Using my zoom camera, here you can see the fantastic lava beds, with Butte Lake on the other side. And here on this side, more lava bed with Snag Lake in the distance. Now let's head over to the side with a view of the Painted Dunes. So directly below us here are the Painted Dunes. Really pretty. And off in the distance there is Snag Lake. The colorful Painted Dunes is a pumice field that formed when ash deposits from the cinder cone were oxidized by the still hot underlying lava flow. With the cinder cone rising above, the fantastic lava flow in the distance, and the Painted Dunes down below, this is truly a landscape unlike anything we have ever hiked in. Time to descend into the Caldera of the Cinder Cone. It's a very slow descent, as the trail is steep and once again made up of the very loose, gravelly cinder rock. All right, like idiots, we had to hike down into the actual caldera. We're now at the center of this cinder cone. Now, just something you got to do when you're here to say you did it. All right, Caden, we need to add a rock to the rock pile. So select you a good sized rock. Add it to the pile. There we go. All right, we have one more cool viewpoint here on the rim we want to check out before we head back down. Although this cinder cone last erupted back in the mid-1600s, Lassen Peak is still very much an active volcano. Its last eruption was back in 1917, and though it's been dormant since 1921, there are still significant geothermal hotspots, with steam vents, bubbling pools, and mud pots similar to what you might find in Yellowstone. This park really does pack a lot into it here. Just on this one trail, we got this awesome cinder cone to climb up onto and into. Got the views of the mountains, the views of the Painted Dunes, and of course that amazing lava flow down here. We might actually get to go down and see it a little bit closer one more time. We're going to take the loop down the back side of the cone, not the same way we came up. What a descent. Still going down, but it's like a controlled slide. You dig your heels in and then the gravel just kind of takes you down a couple feet at a time. Whew. Still descending, but out of the main scree. Time to get the rocks out of our shoes. We're now crossing directly above where the lava flow came from for all of that fantastic lava beds. So it's here, back here on the back of the cinder cone, right down there. You can pretty much see the channel where it came out at. All right, I'm now down at the main flow where the lava came out. All right, there you can literally see the plug where it flowed out of. Now we get to hike through some of the painted dunes. All right, we made it to the trail junction. Go back that way to head back to the trailhead. The trails do go on out to the Snag Lake as well as some other peaks. Of course, we're not going to do those, but I do want to see some of these painted dunes here on this trail right here because they're massive. I'm like, you call that a dune? So yeah, right there, of course, you got the cinder cone. And right beside us here are some of the painted dunes. They looked way smaller from up there. So that's our hike up the Cinder Cone here at Lassen Volcanic National Park. What a cool experience. It was really rough going up it because of all the loose rock, the scree and such that you have to go through, and a little bit dangerous it felt going down the backside just because you just slid with the rock. But an awesome experience getting to climb up there, seeing all of those views. Caden, what did you think?
Going up there and seeing the Caldera, the fantastic lava flows, and the painted dunes, which is very interesting. Nothing like anything we'd ever seen before.
For sure, it was just awesome seeing all that scenery and knowing the history of this whole cinder cone and volcano and this whole area and all of its activity it's had over the years. Awesome to see in person. I would definitely recommend very good hiking shoes and probably some trekking poles if you decide to ever come out here and do it. If you want to do, like us, just a single day here at Lassen, this is an excellent one because of everything it offers. We're on to our next adventure. Till then, peace out.